Hello, everybody. It's time for a special edition of Spooky Time with Bradford and Bradford. And another Bradford.
Yeah.
Three Bradford.
Get ready.
Done.
Good.
So today we're talking about Alien. And I got pictures of alien stuff. Space stuff.
Yeah.
There's the spaceship. Alien. So Bradford, and Bradford, we're going to be talking about how spooky this movie is, and also whether or not we liked it and how we think it holds up by today's standards.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's start talking about the plots and the themes. If you haven't seen a Spooky Time review, we take on plot and themes, acting, characterization, settings and tones, and visual effects and sound effects, and then overall spookiness.
Spooky.
All right, so tell us about the plot.
Well,
Let's give us a quick
it
rundown.
all starts with 7 space truckers. They're transporting minerals, so I guess they're miners too. Their job is to move this stuff, and they're moving it to Earth. And they wake up from their little cryo sleep,
Yeah.
and they're like,
They're having a good time.
Oh, what do we do? We gotta move stuff. And
Mhm.
then they get like a beacon, and it's not an SOS, and it's not like, oh, come help us. It's just like, yeah, here we are. And they're like, it's in the contract. We gotta go get it.
Yeah, some of the people are like, we don't want to do more work.
Because it's just like they're just getting a signal from a
Yeah.
planet, and they're like, we have to go.
But this guy
this
says,
Ash.
Ash.
Is like, it's in our contract. If anybody says anything to us, we have to go to them and look around, I guess.
That's right.
So they go
So
into the
Captain
planet.
Dallas says, we gotta go, everybody.
They go to the planet.
It's like,
they look
I don't want
around.
to do this.
That one guy like touches an egg for no reason.
Wait,
like,
first they see this.
they do.
They see a ship. And
Ooh.
Bradford and I were watching it going like, isn't that enough? Can't they just film this
Can't they just take
and
a
then
picture of
go?
that?
Like,
I
what
feel like they should like call
what
someone.
do they need to do? So they decide they need
They gotta
to go
help.
all the way
You
into the
gotta
ship.
investigate. You gotta touch the dead alien. You gotta
They
touch
see
the
an
alive
egg.
alien.
Kane, played by the wand salesman from Harry Potter, Ollivander, he sees the egg and he's actually gonna scoop his hand in
Yeah,
here.
he's gonna scoop it
opens
out.
He's
up.
gonna eat it. Have you never had like a traditional
100-year
breakfast?
egg?
No, like when you scoop the egg,
Little
like an
poached
English
egg kind of
breakfast.
thing? Nice.
He's
Yeah.
excited.
Anyway, so if he's gonna eat it, he's in for a bad surprise because this guy's gonna
Eat
attach
him.
to his face.
Yep.
So that guy attaches to his face. Then what happens?
They go back to the ship and they're like, "Hey, let us on." And Ripley, the main character, she's like, "Why? What's going on with you? Why is the third guy hurt?" And they're like, "Nothing. No,
Everything's fine. What's attached to his face?
nothing. Don't worry about it. Shut up."
I am worried about it. So I'm going to be the only smart character and not let you. Oh, I'm letting him in now.
So he opens the door.
So he opens the door, and then they bring in this xenomorph.
They're like, just put him in the med bay. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just an unknown life form that nobody's ever communicated with.
And so then Ash is like saying things like, "Hey, Captain, you better come down here. You better come down here right now."
What? Why? What are you
Just
doing?
it's too hard to explain.
Tell me what it is. Tell me what you're doing.
You got to come see this.
You gotta see it.
Yeah. So then it looks like Kane is fine. And the xenomorph is
Well,
dead.
before that, they try to get it off his face, and there's
the
acid blood. And they're like, "Oh, we could never stab this thing again because it's got acid blood."
You know, the acid blood doesn't come into play again in this movie.
Never.
Maybe
But
only the babies have
You
acid
don't want
blood.
to stab it. You don't want to
Yeah.
shoot it.
I think it's to further.
comes into play in
it's
other
like
movies.
hostile
Yeah.
life form.
Because Ash is going to say it's a perfect life form. So the thing pops out of Kane's chest.
Yeah.
And after that, it's a spooky movie because the thing grows into a big xenomorph.
Yeah, within the span of 8 hours.
Yes, so it grows very
Okay.
quickly, very
What?
large.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think that they have to have a host to grow?
Yeah, I think that's their deal.
Like an apple, right? Like, okay, hear me out.
Okay.
You know when you plant an apple seed, an apple tree doesn't grow. It's a flower that will produce a seed that when you plant it, then it grows an
So you're
apple
saying
tree.
without a human, the egg would be a flower?
Yeah. That little egg is a flower until a human comes so it can grab on.
Yeah. So it's looking for a life form to
Would
snap.
it attach to a dog?
Yes, I think
What
so.
about a cat?
Well, maybe not,
Jonesy!
because funny that the best character in the movie
Jonesy!
is this guy right here, Jonesy the cat.
Yeah.
And there's a scene when everybody's getting killed off and Ripley is running around by herself. She's never really alone
Yeah,
because she finds Jonesy the cat.
Yeah.
And
also
the cat's in the box, and the alien just kind of, she's like,
Looks
I'm
at
going to
him.
look at it. And maybe he's like, I don't know how to
Maybe
open
he
boxes.
tries to. Maybe after that he like tries to bite it, and then it's just a box. And he can't
There
get
were
it.
a lot. So when Alien was made in 1979, then a few years later, Aliens was coming out, 1986, I think it was. And we teenage nerds were theorizing that maybe the alien was in the cat. Like we thought that
Like in doubt. Like
something got inside the cat.
Like in the Thing.
Like no, well, yeah.
So here's a pretty good like image of the xenomorph.
He's got a mouth that comes out.
Yep, he's got a double jaw. He likes to give hugs. He's a hugger.
His skin is the ship color, so that's convenient.
They had spray paint.
If they stayed in the sort of the shiny, bright white areas of the ship, they would have.
Yeah, that would have been smart.
They would have been better. Okay, so that leads us to that's a good overview of the plot. We didn't really get into themes.
Well, you said you talked about in your women and gender studies class in college.
Yes, so it's been tossed around for a while that this film is in a lot of ways about recreating the sort of the pain and the fear involved in childbirth, in labor, for a guy to kind of understand the that kind of thing. So we do have the impregnation, right?
Yeah.
And then of course bursting out through the chest is pretty awful and kills him. But if you think about how many women have died because of childbirth complications over centuries, it's sort of like we got an hour and a half to tell you how how really frightening that this process can be.
Yeah.
There's kind of something to that theme wise.
Yeah.
Bradford, who's not with us right now, I was going to say overseas Bradford.
Overseas Bradford.
Texas Bradford.
Texas. Oh my God. I should get one of them hats.
Yeah. The Texas Bradford, what theme, what kind of message did you take away
Texas
from
Bradford,
this?
Oregon Bradford, and California
That's right.
Bradford.
So for themes, I'm trying to think back because I've always thought that it's interesting. I go down a way, very scientific way of thinking about it, and I wonder if these creatures, before they ended up on this planet, right, the planet that they're on, did they have this humanoid form, or did like the evils of man corrupt them into this like monstrous killing thing?
Like, so the original form is head crab, and then
right,
since it's in a human body, it has like half human form.
Exactly.
Well, some of those answers are delivered.
We're not talking about the sequels.
And Alien Covenant, stuff like that. But
yeah.
Even those sequel prequel kind of things, they're sort of confusing. It's open to interpretation. So we just look at this. We're just talking about this one movie, and we're pretending.
That'd be funny if we did that for sequels too. We're like, I don't know how we got here.
Who's this Luke guy?
No, but I think for me the theme that I take away is like, is there more to like? Is there darkness in humanity, and only humanity can stomp it out, kind of thing, right? Like, it's ultimately a human thing to bring that stuff back on board, right? And be like, oh
Yes.
yeah, put
It's
it on
actually an
board.
Android thing. The Android wanted to bring it on board
Okay, but
true.
the android, that's another thing.
Programmed by humans.
by a company.
Is I think that Alien and Aliens and the Covenant all talk about like what is it to be human and like this concept of like, oh, who's the story actually about? Is it about the android? Is it about the cat? Or is it about whatever her name is? I can't remember her name. Sarah?
Ripley.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's my takeaway.
What theme did you take away?
You're always stronger with your friends.
Stronger with your friends.
No.
You're not.
As cool as this movie is, there's several times like, okay, we'll split up. Like they split up several times.
Ripley gets
Scooby-Doo.
That's when everybody else is dead and she can make decisions for the ship and not
Yes.
be like overthrown.
Yeah.
Um,
It seemed like Ripley's stress
she's like,
levels went
okay,
way down. It's like,
I know
okay,
what to do.
it's just an alien, a cat, and me, and I'm fine with that. I can deal with that. The cool thing about Ripley as a character is that she theme. Okay, we'll stick with character.
Theme.
Like to say my themes.
Yes,
sir. Listen. I think the most frustrating part about it is just like bad science. I know that's not like a theme to connect to the human condition or whatnot. But just
so that science makes bad things, or there are bad scientists in this movie.
There are bad scientists. There's one science officer, and he's an android for a company who wants the alien life form
At all costs.
Like, hey, bring the sun. Don't. It's fine. It's a completely new discovery, but if fire probably kills it.
Maybe.
It's like it could have had like airborne spores that just like killed.
Just wipe out all of humanity.
Yeah.
Yes, and it seems like I know we're not talking about the other movies, but I will say the other movies, they get dumber.
Yeah.
They do things like they
starts off pretty dumb.
Yeah, but at least
they're like, what if we go back?
Don't bring it on the ship.
It's true, and at least it's not like this is a crew of scientists. It's like
it's like
this isn't really
we're minors. We're here. We dug up stuff on the moon, and now we're going back. And
yeah, but also like the theme of like body horror, I really like. That's my real answer.
Yeah. All right, so now Texas Bradford. This is where we give plot and themes. We score each one on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first for this round. I'm going to give plot. I'm going to give it a 9.
A 9.
I think the themes are open to a lot of cool interpretation, and I think now I've seen the movie several times, so the plot kind of wears off on me. Mm-hmm. But I remember the first time watching it, liking the slowness and the suspense that's built.
Yeah.
And also the kind of the weird progression, because it's really bizarre to have an egg opens up, a monster pops out on your face,
like,
then it pops out on your chest. Yeah. And then so there's a lot of surprises in the plot.
Yeah.
What about you, Bradford?
I'm going to give it an 8.5 because I agree that like the plot is well crafted and I like the theme. I think the themes do well to make it horror-esque, since we're rating this as a horror movie and not just a movie. But the times I'm taking off 1.5 points for all the times that they had to do a task and I didn't know why they had to do the task. There's like, the vents.
It's Among Us.
Go.
It's Among Us.
This resource. I don't know. Do it.
They said we're gonna get on the shuttle, but first go get the canisters.
And it's like, what are the canisters?
Is it air?
And there's vents all the time. They're like, watch out for the steam, and it's like, why is that steam going off? Yeah.
Why is the steam there?
Place where there's just water dripping down. It's like it's raining in here. Maybe it's coolant. I don't know.
You know how it is. Spaceships.
What about you, Texas Bradford?
I would say I'm gonna go with other Bradford and go with 8.5 just because I think it's a good movie, but I actually like Aliens more.
Okay.
That's because
it's a good.
Yeah. Yeah, aliens. We probably won't have a spooky time about aliens
Because it's an action.
It's yeah.
Well, it's good.
It's thrilling. Definitely thrilling. It's very good.
Texas has
Yeah.
Bradford in it.
All right, acting and characterization. Here's the cast.
Cat. Dude, I just remembered the SNL skit where the cat's on board. My little kitty cat.
That's her.
I give
That's
him
Ripley.
I give him little business kisses. I miss my little kitty cat.
That's my little
Why is
kitty
this
cat.
geologist? He's an expert in his field. Okay, so I think that here's what I'll say. This is a good number. You don't want to
It's true.
in this
They
kind of
didn't.
show.
They didn't thing it.
They
They
didn't
didn't
think
have too many men that looked the same.
Thing had
and
too
there's
many-
50 people.
too many
And
people.
halfway through, 2 guys showed up, but nobody.
Yeah,
knew.
I remember. There's Kurt Russell with the beard.
Roller skate
There's
guy.
the roller skating guy. Then there's a whole bunch of
There's
other
the guy
guys.
that types in the computer, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. There's a guy that likes the wolves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wolf guy.
Here we got
2 mechanics.
we got the 2 mechanic guys.
We got
One
girl 1 and girl 2.
One is Harry Dean Stanton, and his name's Brett.
Yeah, he's
and
cool.
he likes smoking cigarettes
My
and
headphones
chasing
stopped
after
working.
cats and complaining about work.
Acting and characterization.
Goodbye.
Acting and characterization. There's lots of actors,
So-
lots of characters.
Yeah,
in
we had
this film.
We had sort of a technical difficulty, and then a mom came into the room, and we looked at the dog for about 20 minutes.
Anyway,
But
Okay, that's
acting and
good.
characterization, I like the characters, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that they are well-developed characters.
that's true.
They're pretty realistic portrayal, given that it's like a late 70s sci-fi film.
Yeah, but I'd say each one is a little bit one-dimensional because you want, like, with 7 people, you want like a push and pull, and that's sort of all you have time to do.
So we get some cool things. Ripley, obviously, since she lives the longest, has the most depth. There's characters that I feel like I never really get to know her, other than
She's scared.
she's the one that
good
gets
reasons.
for a good,
Yeah.
very good reason.
Everybody's like, "Why do you want to leave? You
Yeah.
coward."
Yeah,
She's like,
she's like, let's get. There's this spooky, finding out that he's
yeah.
an
That was. I think that
android
was
is
my
kind of
favorite
cool.
scene when he was attacking her because like it came.
It is
out of
pretty cool.
nowhere. I am.
Yeah. So that was a surprise to you, right?
Yeah.
You didn't expect that. Yeah. So especially in a movie that you think is just about an alien, and then having this robot that's trying to stick a magazine down your throat. That's pretty.
I
You thought he was going to
I
throw
thought he
up
was
milk,
trying to throw up milk into her mouth.
which I don't know what he was doing. He's the programming on this robot is very weird because he's very believable as a human.
And then
So they're surprised that he's a robot.
And then once he starts attacking him, he goes like he does the robot.
Yeah,
dance.
when his head comes off, this is how his hands are, Kinsey. He's like, like now I can be my true self.
Robot.
But yeah,
So
I give it an 8.
gonna give it an 8 for acting and characterization.
I'm gonna give it.
Hand out jobs, but it was good.
I'm gonna
I'm
give
gonna give
it a 7.5.
7.5 for Mackenzie. I'm gonna give it an 8 also. I was tempted to give it like an 8.5, but that's really because they let this character live. I was very happy that the cat lives. But that's more plot than characterization.
Yeah.
Setting and tone. So this is where we talk about things like the sets and also the mood that's created by the environment. And I think that the whole, do you know where the alien look comes from? Bradford? Either Bradford?
Movie.
It's from that one guy. That guy that makes all the drawings and artwork.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
from his last name's Geiger.
Yeah.
And
I want to go to his house.
Shelter?
when they go
yeah.
into
Because apparently the main evil alien killed this alien.
yeah,
in the
so
same
some xenomorph popped out of this guy and then I assume laid all those eggs.
Yeah. Probably.
And so I like how the very bizarre kind of world of giant aliens and xenomorphs that are way too dangerous for us to be around.
Yeah.
And yet we're trying to, capture them and take them back
This
to
is
Earth.
for us.
Like this is the perfect organism for us to use for some reason. And and here's this scene. This is some of the computer room and just the computers in general.
They call the computer Mother a lot, which is weird.
And they act like Mother's going to tell them like important things, but
she never did. I don't think she gives a single answer.
Yeah,
it's like, what do we do? And it's like, I don't know, computer.
Yeah, there is one scene where Ripley's in the Mother chamber, and it says like, can't like, nope, can't tell you that. That's Special Order 857. Right. She's like, what's Special Order 857? Oh well, the crew's expendable. It's like, oh, okay.
This doesn't have anything to do with setting in time, but I'm going to talk about it right now.
Good.
The self-destruct sequence is 5 minutes long, and when she turns it on, alarms blare, which makes sense. Lights flash. Makes sense. You want to alert people. Extra steam comes out of the walls.
More steam.
Yeah. And then when you have 1 minute left,
and then
the flames start.
Yeah, there's like flamethrowers in the hallways. And like nothing's it's not like the ship's malfunctioning. It's like it's just this is like design.
It's just way? It's like we really want you to know it's important to get up. So we're sending in the flames. We're gonna
burn you.
It's if you're blind or deaf.
So
if you're deaf and blind.
And when the ship does self-destruct, what do you think of the self-destruct?
Oh, yeah. And then when it finally self-destructs, she's like, I don't know, like 1,000 kilometers away because we can't even see this massive ship anymore in space. And like 3 atomic bombs go off one by one. So it's like this company spent billions of dollars on this self-destruct system.
It's a good system.
Yeah. What when you watched it? How long ago did you watch Alien?
Okay, so I watched it I think the night before, or like we went and saw Alien Covenant with Marcus.
Okay.
And we watched it before that.
You watched it right before. Okay, so it's been a little while. So what do you think of the setting and the mood that's created by it?
I really enjoy the world building of the whole series.
Yeah.
And I think that it's kind of fun and gritty. It's not my favorite version of like space travel, but it's very high up on my list. So I'd give it like, I don't know. I'd honestly give it a 9.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Bradford? I'd say I like the look of this movie a lot. I think it like stands the test of time, and it's like very like trademark. Like it's like, yeah, that's Alien, which I think is really cool. And I think the setting of a spaceship is very good because it's desolate, but also like so foreign that like this alien life form is nothing that we can comprehend. So yeah, I think that adds up to make a good spooky circumstance. So I think I'd also give it a 9.
All right. And I'm going to give it just a little notch higher than that even. I'm going to give it a 9.5 because, again, the Geiger stuff, I think looks really
it's some of my favorite puppetry of all time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Really good.
But I'm talking about just like the weird look of when they're in the alien.
Yeah.
Like the alien ship is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the whole Nostromo setting is pretty awesome as well. All right, then we move on to visual effects and sound effects, which could include things like soundtrack and stuff like that. And certainly this is very visual effects heavy movie, so we get to talk about that, including this Bradford's favorite kind of thing, the gore stuff, any of the gore stuff. So Bradford, take it away.
I'd say there's one specific instance of gore in this movie, other than like brief inserts of like somebody like getting like chested to death.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all of the kill scenes are just sort of like, and an impact happens on somebody's body.
When I was looking up images for our little show today, I saw that there's a whole bunch of deleted scenes where the death scenes are longer. So when that Brett guy with the Hawaiian shirt, the old guy with the Hawaiian shirt, you see the hands come around his head, and then he's screaming, and he gets like carried away. And then, because remember how Ripley and the other character Parker, say it's like, yeah, but the thing was big and it took right up. It's
Yeah.
like, we didn't see that.
Yeah, we didn't see them see it either.
Yeah.
The acting on that was really good, just like to signify something coming from like inside your body and ripping its way out.
Yeah.
And that was like explained with like the dead alien earlier, so like you know it's coming.
Yeah.
So that was a really good scene. And like, you know, there's blood. Like I think most of the VFX is like the alien, like the actual like monster design, which I think is its like strong selling point.
The alien, when it's in its little baby form.
Yeah, and he goes. Ah!
Yeah, and just like runs that's pretty iconic.
It's good.
That's nothing. There's nothing quite
it's
like that.
It's really good too. Like it just runs away, and then they're like,
yeah. I love their reaction. I can't remember if
They just don't know what to do.
Oh, here's the scene where she's gonna get a hug. Yeah. So this scene.
They're like, well,
yeah.
It's like a wacky pigs in space
episode for a
episode.
little while.
Yeah, because what the hell
They're
do you
just
do
like,
after that?
That was something. That
Yeah. It's similar, like if you've ever been around a bunch of people and then you see like a rat or like a possum, like in some place that it's not supposed to be,
and then you don't see it,
and then it's gone.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I like the puppets. I think they're fun and good, and I do like the little guy when he comes out. And I feel, I think I don't know if this is the correct way to interpret how this thing grows, but I did always feel like the little guy was always small, and he's the guy that comes out of the mouth. Like if the alien grows around him.
Like it's a shell that's growing around him.
Yeah, like he's growing a shell, and
he
that's
could still, if he needed to, he could pop out of that suit.
Yeah.
And be a little guy again.
Yeah, like you know, an alien
maybe
wearing the big metal suit. He's wearing his big metal suit.
I like that idea. That's a good interpretation.
But I don't know why, but I always just thought like he grew up, but like he didn't go away. Like if a baby was to like just grow layers, like a tree.
A baby just grows a big human around
Makes
it.
sense. He's like, I like it.
And he just comes out to eat Trump. So that's my interpretation.
Is he eating people for sustenance, or is he killing?
I don't think so.
No. I think a lot of good world building happens in this franchise, but not in the first one.
Yeah, it's like the other alien. The sequel is like, hey, this is what.
He's a really good alien. He's really dangerous to humans. I don't know why.
Because in Aliens, it's some of them is like, okay, kill some of these guys, but grab some of the humans and take them back. We're going to use them, you know. So, but in this first movie, it's like, is he eating them?
He's just killing them.
He's just
I'd
killing
like
them?
to say that it ties into my theory that this is the first humanoid alien, and so he doesn't know what he's doing.
He's trying to talk to people, but he doesn't know how to, you know.
He doesn't know.
He's like, hi, but just by saying hi, it snaps out of his mouth.
Yeah, like he's going for the hug.
Yeah.
Keep your theories straight.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about my disappointment in the visual effects, and it comes right at the very end when the xenomorph is being sucked out. He gets hit by a grappling hook, and that is
cool.
That's what like pushes him out finally.
Yeah.
But then
outside of the ship,
it looks bad. It's bad visual. It's like a doll that's being shook around on string.
Aren't we all?
And and so the weird thing is like everything else is like so subtle. Like they're usually when they're filming the alien, they're doing the lighting with the shadows really well.
Because you want the big monster reveal to be like you finally see it in its like in like the whole form, like bright visually.
Yeah, so I guess they just couldn't.
In the context of him flailing around the outside of a spaceship, it doesn't look cool.
No. It's a cool fact. Maybe that was the point. It's like, you know what?
Maybe.
You thought he was cool, but he's not. He's a fool.
He's not cool.
He's just a dumb guy that bit people. Got feelings too. Didn't even eat them, just kind of bit them and killed them and stuff like that.
Just a small, little, tiny alien.
Oh, I like the dripping blood foot. That was the other gore.
The dripping what?
There was like a dripping
that's right.
Foot
that's right.
Blood.
Yeah.
She was like, "Whoa, they're dead."
They never find Captain Dallas, so he might still be on the ship when it blows up.
That's why she says, "I got you." She's talking about Neil.
Oh, you know what I noticed that I'd never noticed all the times I'd watched Alien? When she has the helmet on and she's getting ready to do the airlock thing,
Yeah.
she's quietly singing "You Are My Lucky Star."
Yeah.
It's like soothing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part.
All right, so Bradford, what score would you give?
8.5.
8.5.
I'm gonna go with 7.
7
from the creature design.
I see. Well, I'm giving it a much higher score, even though I'm terribly disappointed with that ending scene. But to me, the puppet, the visual of the creature is pretty awesome. And so I'm giving it. I'm going to just give it 9. I'd give it a 9.5 if it wasn't for that. The very ending.
The
But you
floppy
guys
man.
do it with all your CGI stuff and things like that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm young.
I think I gave it a lot of points for setting and tone for the way it looked. You know
It's
what
true.
I mean?
There's kind of
Yeah, because it's like, I really, like I said, I really like the puppetry, and I think the world building is awesome. But it's not to say that it couldn't have been better.
Yeah, I think it also gets better with Aliens. Myself, at least, the visual effects
Well, when
increases.
she gets in her suit, that's pretty sick.
Pretty awesome.
You gotta get in the suit to fight the suit.
Yeah. All right, spookiness. We're gonna let our special guest, Texas Bradford,
Oh no.
start talking about the spookiness. So this is
That's
how scary it was
4 years ago.
Yeah, and so you can think about if you had any reaction to was it something that was scary for you? Was it not scary?
Okay, I think
jump a little bit.
I think this movie is a good starter scary movie. I think for people like me who are not super big on scary, this is a movie that's pretty easy to get into. It's not based on like, oh, there's some weird killer out there. And I like that it's not a weird killer.
It kind of is based on that. That's the plot of the movie. Oh, there's
a weird killer out there, out in space.
Yeah, but it's not a human.
That's true.
When I want to know about human
you said it was
killers,
a person.
It might be a person.
Just a guy. He's just a little guy.
Just a little
All right,
guy.
so it's a good starter one.
Yeah, because it's not realistic. It's to the point where it's like I'm gonna get in my car and be attacked by a xenomorph.
Gotcha.
So
you're not going to be worried about it afterwards.
I'm not gonna go on my normal hitchhiking routine and worry about a xenomorph getting me.
You have a
I'm gonna be worried about when you're hitchhiking, you have to look out for
in the park. You're not gonna...
Have you seen those videos? I love those.
For me, because I've seen it so many times, I'm trying to think back to when I was a kid watching it, and I remember being very thrilled at the time, but I don't remember being worried afterwards.
Yeah.
So it was like, and also going back to the cat, I was very worried about the cat's well-being. So I was very happy that the cat lived. So I was basically on the edge of my seat, but not necessarily scared afterwards.
I think in a lot of ways, I feel like everybody gets what's coming to them. I know that's a really weird, that's not very nice, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
You just kind of only care about her because she's the only one making smart choices.
Because we got 2 guys that are concerned with money. We got the girl that's just scared.
Yeah. What kind of character arc is that?
Curious and shouldn't have looked in the thing. Dallas, I like the captain a lot. He's, I think, a pretty noble character, but he did make the mistake of bringing the guy onto the ship.
I think the lady doesn't deserve what happened to her. She's just scared.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know her character well enough to know if it's
her
like she's got any skeletons.
Is scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 7 dead.
And Parker dies very nobly because he's trying to save her.
Yeah, he's like, move out of the way.
Yeah.
Move.
And he's like, move. He wants to get. I read that they had like 4 different ways that she died, and one of the ways was Parker fires the flamethrower so she gets burnt up.
Yeah, I was half expecting that.
And another way that she dies was that she just is scared to death. So just
it's gone.
They didn't know how to film that, so like we'll just have her scream off camera. All right, so what score would you give Spookiness?
I would give it.
Dog's like, our dog down here is like, I wasn't very scared.
Ah.
I would give it a 7.5.
7.5 for spookiness.
There was.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah,
7.
there was a lot of good like setup with tension and whatnot, and I think it's not a movie that like has me scared throughout the film.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are scary parts, but it also is like a scary thing to think about, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give it a 7.5. All right.
I think the thing that sticks with me is like the head grab version of the alien.
The
like
head
on,
grab.
on the face. I think that's
Yeah.
the scariest version.
The face.
You don't like the little guy?
Yeah, the face. Well, when the face
No.
hugger is like has the tentacle that tightens
Yeah.
around your neck.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Have you guys seen the Covenant? Alien Covenant?
Uh-huh.
When
Yeah,
when they wrap around in the shower, I hate that scene. That scene's scary. You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, never mind then. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't. Don't worry about it. All right. So if I add up the math, people, if I add up all these numbers and then what, divide it by 3?
Divide it by the.
Okay. Well, if the math is correct, then this earns an 82%, which means Alien gets a B minus on the overall score, which I don't have. On the overall score, B minus. And I feel a little bad that it's getting B minus because I think that if we were living back in 1979,
and we experienced it as our childhood, and then was nostalgic about it.
And I also never even I saw it as a kid, but I never saw it on the big screen.
Oh,
so it
that's true. It would
probably
be a
loses
very good
something.
big screen movie.
Yeah, but
it would be
still a great movie with lots of great stuff. A good thriller, and so which other Alien movies have you seen, Bradford?
Aliens and Alien versus Predator.
That's not a real Aliens movie.
Yeah, it is. This got an alien.
It's canon.
I can't remember which one.
The funny thing about the Aliens versus Predator movie is they take place on Earth, and all the other Aliens movies like, we can't let this thing get to Earth. Don't let it get to. It's like that was on Earth back in the 90s. Like, don't worry about it. The Predators will get them. Which ones have you? So you've seen Covenant, you've seen Alien and Aliens. Anything else?
I feel like there was one more. Prometheus? The one where it's like there's hardly any aliens and it's
Prometheus.
like on a planet. Yeah.
Prometheus. That's where I think they make the dumbest scientific decisions in Prometheus.
They really do. That movie.
Like, we just got on this new planet. I think the air's good. Shh.
Yep, air's good.
Yeah, it's
good. But here's my message to
air's
you
good
and
on this one, guys.
everybody out there. Don't watch Alien 3. I don't like it.
Don't watch it. I think I
had
had seen that actually.
Ah.
I feel like I blocked it.
Good.
From my mind.
It's not. It's very disappointing. Anyway, everybody, that was Spooky Time with Bradford and Bradford and an extra Bradford. And now we're going to talk about Twin Peaks.
All right, everybody.
Talk about spooky. Look at this guy.
That guy is spooky.
spooky.
That guy, Bob, spooky.